Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Lions Den podcast, Thursday Night Football. In this instance, everything about Club León in English, your one-stop shop. And we got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. One of the most entertaining and thrilling, widest range of emotions you can experience in 90 minutes. Liga MX matches against Club América over the weekend, and then, of course, Pie y medio in the semifinales after a dominating performance midweek against Violette in the CONCACAF Champions League 2023 edition. Here with Carlos. We'll see if any other special guests join us over the course of the next hour or so. But if not, Carlos and I, as we've done many times before, we'll hold down the fort. Carlos, how are we doing tonight? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good about CCL, but not so good about those suspensions and all the consequences. You know, all the aftermath from Saturday night's match.
Absolutely.
I feel like that's going to really affect us moving forward in the next two games. But it was a wild weekend, man. I mean, I think wild's an understatement because we saw something that had never happened before, or at least to my knowledge, a referee kneeing a player in the balls.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You might have to bleep that out later. This is a family show. If Kari were here, she'd be giving you the stink eye madly for saying that. But you're absolutely right. And I mean, they went all around. They talked to a lot of people the usual suspects, Paco Chacon and Ramos Rizzo, and even people like Miguel Herrera and all the pundits, current and former Liga MX personalities. They went around, they talked to all of them, and nobody'd seen anything like that. We've come to expect lots of crazy stuff in Liga MX. Obviously, this league has a little bit different sabor than lots of other leagues in the world in many ways, but something like that, I don't know if I ever expected to see something like that. And really, I didn't see it when it happened in real time, because when you're sitting up three tiers at the Estadio Azteca, that's not something that you catch in real time. I didn't really even know exactly what had happened. Obviously, you can see the disturbios, the fight, the brawl, not even really a brawl, but the drama. You can see the drama unfolding from a bird's eye view, but you can't really see the specifics. I didn't even know exactly what had happened until we were discussing it in the group chat during the game, for those of you who were watching it on TV. So yeah, just crazy moments. And I'm glad to see that the referee got the suspension. I think he, as I said multiple times, le salió barato, muy barato. I think it should have been more. It should have been at least the original 15 matches that had been rumored. Ends up being 12. I think it's a pretty harsh punishment. You don't see too many referees like Fernando Hernandez, who's been around the block in Liga MX. He's been around a long time. He's a guy we've seen officiate little matches many times. So for someone of his stature in the refereeing community in Mexico to get a 12-game suspension, it's not nothing. Absolutely, it's definitely, it sends a message. I don't know if it sends the message that it ultimately needed to, and especially with the suspensions that followed. Not so much for the coaches. I get that. You kind of have to. I think 2 games for the coaches. If regardless of who was responsible for who instigated it, I think 2 matches for the coaches is probably fair, as long as that's even. The one I really don't agree with is the 2 games for Pedro Romero. I don't think that was fair at all. I think I think you take away from the message that you're trying to send with the 12-game suspension by giving Pedro Romero 2 games. I don't think he was. I think he was. If you look at the full replay, obviously Televisa is only going to make available the replays that are beneficial to them and their agenda.
Yep.
which their agenda is Club America. Let's I don't think we have to mince words about that. That's not a secret. Televisa owns Club America and owns Estadio Azteca and televises the Club America games. So, they're going to do what's best in their best interests. And, that's going to take replay reviews out of context. And I just don't think there was anything that Pedro Romero did to warrant a 2-game suspension. And unfortunately, le resta el mensaje that the Federation and the league should be sending, in my opinion. So, good on them for the referee suspension. The rest, I'm not so sure, man. I'm not so sure.
Yeah, and I don't know if 12 games is enough, because if you remember, the same referee was also a victim of violence himself. A couple years ago, I think it was 2017, Pablo Aguilar, I think, headbutted him or something, and he got 1 year for headbutting the same referee. And now there's this same referee for doing something, in my opinion, that's much worse.
Absolutely.
And it's completely evident on camera. There's multiple angles. Only gets 12 games, and those games can be served during Liguilla, for example. So all the games in Liguilla can count, basically. So he's not really.
So what will it be? It'll be the rest of the remaining 4 matches of this season. 1 repechaje match, six. I would imagine they take into account all rounds of Liguilla.
Yeah.
So that's 11 games right there. So he'll miss the first match of the regular season next season, and then he'll be back. Yeah, I don't think that's enough. I really don't. I don't. And I know he's very apologetic, but if you look at his comments, I mean, he never explicitly says he didn't mean to do it. He apologized for doing it. He never says he didn't mean to do it. The León players were giving him the benefit of the doubt, which good on them. I think they were being too forgiving. Honestly, they were forgiving him, and they thought it was they were calling it an accident, but he himself never tried to claim it was an accident. He was very apologetic for his actions, and he accepted whatever punishment was coming to him, but he never explicitly said it was an accident. And I think 12 games is, like you said, it's not enough. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Like you said, our players came out saying it was an accident. Pedro Romero came out. Rodolfo Cota came out, and you would think that these players, speaking to the media, would have harsher criticism of the referee, but it almost seems like they took a defensive stand because they don't want retaliation from the refs during the final stretch of the season.
Yeah,
that's something that's possible. Like the referees could potentially turn on you.
Yeah, that could absolutely be part of it, especially with everything that they have to play for at the moment. Yeah, you don't want to put yourself at any sort of competitive disadvantage, especially when you're already going to be at one in a match like this where clearly you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt on any close call.
Yeah.
Which we can get into the actual game stuff. I mean, it was.
Let's talk about it.
It's as I said, one of the widest ranges of emotions you're ever going to go through in 90 minutes. You start out winning, and so when you start out winning, settling for a draw theoretically is never going to feel good. But given the circumstances, when the cards were clearly stacked against us, nobody outside of León's fans, players, and front office wanted to see León win that game. Clearly, the America fans, who I don't know what game they watched, will try to tell you something different, but the officiating was definitely in their favor. And we weren't just gonna, if we wanted to get a result out of that game, we were gonna have to fight, claw, and scratch for it all the way till the end, and that's what ended up happening. And these two teams, I think these are the top two teams in the tournament. Toluca's been good, obviously. They, with their results against who was it? I forgot.
Wasn't it? Didn't they play? Was it Tigres?
Yeah. With Toluca's win against a very hit or miss Tigres team this season, they ended up jumping us back in the table, so we're in third instead of second. But I think and I've already made it known on here that Monterrey does not convince me. They've gotten a lot of lucky results. I don't think that they are championship material from what I've seen from them this season, despite being super líderes. I think the two teams of the tournament right now are the teams that played this past weekend. I think León and América I'm calling it right now. I think they will meet again in Liga, and man, if the sparks flew in a jornada 13, like imagine how they will fly in Liga. And so I think we will have that to look forward to. I mean, it might not happen. America could get eliminated early. I don't expect León to, but America could get eliminated early, and maybe it won't happen. But I am expecting it to happen. Maybe a semifinal or something like that. And boy, the sparks are going to fly. I know.
Yeah, there's always
will.
something about these two teams, and we talked about it with Ivan in the last episode. We said when these two teams meet, they give us like some memorable moments, and they absolutely did this past week.
Yeah. One of the most thrilling matches, dramatic matches I've been to in quite some time. Also on that stage, everything is amplified. People have differing opinions about what it's like to see a match in the Estadio Azteca, but there's just something different about the air when you're just sitting there watching a game in that stadium. And it doesn't. And I'm not talking about the contaminación. I'm just talking about the I'm talking about the way it feels to see a game in that stadium, especially when it's León América. Well, not so much when it's Cruz Azul, but when it's against América, like it just has that different vibe.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
The game, 45 minutes, it was all León, and we scored first. Second half starts, and what happened? Well, the first goal, I don't know if you saw it from the stands, the first goal, everybody was claiming it was a handball, and I think that's where the drama started. Looking at the replay, I don't think I've seen a shot that shows a clear hand. Have you?
Well, TUDN is not going to give you that shot, Carlos, because they are a product of Televisa. I'm pretty sure those angles do exist, especially in that stadium. That stadium has cameras at every single vantage point you could possibly have. I'm pretty sure there's an angle there that would tell us definitively. None of the replays have it, but that doesn't mean those angles don't exist. I don't really know what to make of that. The way our players disputed it, though, I mean, there's obviously gamesmanship, but then there's gamesmanship and then there's gamesmanship. Like every single player in the vicinity was adamant that there was a handball.
Yep.
And usually, they might, when it's a PK or something, they might complain. They'll complain because they don't want to call it. You don't ever want a call to go against you in any way. But this time, they were so adamant that I think there probably was some meat to it. They could have at least gone to VAR. And from what I saw, they didn't even VAR didn't even move a muscle to check that replay.
Yeah, it was a very weak. I don't know. It was just a very weak call. When you have that many players surrounding you, claiming it's a handball, like you at least have to talk to the VAR. This guy didn't even talk to the VAR. He's pointed straight to the middle and said, "That's a goal." Like I'm not going to talk to VAR.
Yeah, man. I mean, if there's any doubt, like get it right. That's what these resources are in place for, is it not? Theoretically. That was frustrating, and unfortunately, we were a little bit shaken up by that. I mean, you could tell the next when the tying goal was ultimately ratified, given that for about 10-15 minutes, that really that lowered our spirits. That was kind of like it was a gut punch, shall we say? And those are the moments those are the moments when your defense, especially, is at its most vulnerable. And sure enough, it was only a few minutes later they got the go-ahead goal.
Yeah, but that one shouldn't have counted, though. I don't know if you saw the replay. It was supposed to be a corner kick on America's end. Corner kick for us. Yeah. I didn't realize that. It had gone off an America player, and the linesman didn't call it. And the VAR didn't interfere. That's a clear play when VAR should interfere and say, hey, there was a corner kick on the other end that should have been called.
But the ball had gone out of play on the other end. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, fishy stuff, man.
Fishy stuff. And
it just goes to show. It just goes to show. We're not going to get the benefit of absolutely anything in these types of matchups. So we have to. That's why I was telling you. Like I didn't even know about the knee, about the rodillazo at that point. But I was like, no matter what happens, you got to be able to keep a cool head and play your game, because that's the only way you're going to be able to hang around in these games. Like in Liguilla, you can't let either of these moments get to you anímicamente because the second. I mean, there's no the difference between a 1-0 win and a 2-2 draw, or a difference between a win and a draw in Liguilla. I mean, a one goal difference in the global could mean you're going home or going on. You have to be able to keep a cool head in those types of situations. Hopefully they learn from this. I don't know, man. This is just kind of a hot-headed team, both on the sidelines and on the pitch. I'm talking about our team. And I like that. I like that they play with a fire in their belly. I like that they play with that intensity. They've there's a lot of talk going around about how they've recuperado el ADN that they had lost with the last two managers.
Yeah.
And that Larcamón has gotten it back. And
it's a double-edged sword.
I think a little bit, yeah. It's a little bit of a double-edged sword. They have to be able to harness that intensity without giving the other team or the officiating a reason to use it against them.
Right.
They're going to have to be able to harness. They're going to have to be able to find that equilibrio, that balance about playing with a fire, with an intensity, but always keeping a cool head, always staying professional, and making sure that you're in the right mental and emotional state no matter what happens to keep playing and keep grinding out that result. That's the only way. It's the only way we're gonna have success moving forward.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand these guys. You're in the middle of a huge game, the entire world's watching, the whole country's watching. Your coach is adamant that that you're not getting the calls that you're supposed to be getting, that you're being cheated, basically. And then he confronts Tano Ortíz and they go at it. There's only one shot that was shown. Again, you said there's angles in all parts of the stadium, but somehow the only video we saw was some amateur guy in the stands that was recording in his flip phone. But I mean, yeah, these guys, like, I don't know. How can you ask a team that's so hungry to win and that has this attitude to win and they feel like they're being cheated? How can you ask them to be so calm about getting cheated, basically?
I mean, that's the $32,000 question, isn't it?
Yeah.
You have to find you just have to find a way, man. You just have to. They're going to have to, because they're not. If they face América again in Liga, which I'm predicting will happen, it's not going to be any different. They're not. I remember the last time we faced América Liga, the semifinal back in the fateful Clausura 2019 season. By the skin of our teeth, we managed to get through that. By the skin of our teeth, nobody wanted to see it happen. They wanted that Liga América final again.
Oh.
And by the skin of our teeth, we managed to make sure that didn't happen. Even from starting out when we talked about this a little bit last time, when they moved the Partido de Ida to Querétaro kind of to throw us off.
That's true. That's true.
Like they could have played it in Mexico City, but they if we got
everything in their power,
they did everything in their power to throw us off, and we by the skin of our teeth we managed to make it to that final. But if we can make it to Liga with against this American team, it's not going to be any easier than it was this time. No matter how far superior we are to them on the pitch, which I feel like we were for most of this game. There were stretches of the second half that were more even, but for most of this game, I feel like we were superior.
Yeah, I think that first half should have ended at least 2-0 León, at least.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, Diorio had that painful chance, like right there at the end. If he just taken a shot a half second sooner, that's his problem. He waits half a second too long.
Yeah.
If he'd just taken the shot, we would have had a 2-0 going into the half, and I think that might have done it.
Yeah. Dang. Freaking Diorio. Oh man, that was quite the match this weekend, quite the drama. Any last thoughts on that match before?
Well, the dust settles, and we're in third place, tied with Toluca, but they have a better goal differential. Tied on points, They have better goal
Yep.
differential. So, anything can happen. We still are very much in the driver's seat, controlling our own destiny to finish in the top 4. I think that's all we really need to do. Finish in the top 4, and you got a decent chance at a good Liga run. And we control our own destiny. And there's this match this weekend will be big. We got a couple of big matches coming up, and we're gonna have to do them without Pedro Romero. But we're in the driver's seat. We control our own destiny in Liga MX to finish high in the standings and hopefully make a run.
Yeah, looking at the Lucas schedule, they have a really easy schedule. Puma, Juarez, Necaxa, and then we have, what is it, Cruz Azul, Chivas, and Tigres?
Yeah. Now, and Tijuana, like our only cupcake on the docket is Tijuana, but it's never a sure thing going up to Tijuana and playing in their place. I mean, they can always surprise you up there. Toluca's got a pretty easy schedule. I think they play Puebla this weekend at Puebla. Like I could see that one tomorrow. I could see that one. Maybe Puebla manages to help us out and salvage a draw against them or something like that. I think that could really they could really throw us a bone. If they could do that, that'd be real nice.
Absolutely. Shout out to Carlos Hermeño saying Lucas Fayorio.
Yeah.
Well, at least he scored during CCL. During CCL. So, sometimes you just need that one goal to break the drought, and you're on your way up again. Hopefully that'll.
Well, he got a gimme. We'll get into the Violette match in a minute here, but he had a gimme on Tuesday, and credit to him, he put it away. Hopefully that's the start of something big.
For sure. Lavinho, always joining the chat. Hey guys, thought León was superb till the chaos happened. Great spirit shown to get back in the game. That last shot. Let's talk about the last shot with Campbell.
Yeah.
I saw him go like this. Did the Yeah, really?
Yeah.
The Azteca went completely
silent. They were not happy about that. They were not happy about that at all. They were definitely stunned. And I remember people talking before the game. They're like, "Oh, you got to give Campbell a chance in this one because he loves the big stage, and he loves the big moment." I mean, that's why he always does better with the. It seems like he does better with the national team than he does with any club that he's ever played for.
Yeah,
he loves those big stages. He loves those big moments when something's really on the line. So give him just to come in as a sub and save the match like that. It couldn't have been scripted any better. Really, really nice shot from him too. Like he can, he'll still surprise you. He obviously. His drive, his effort will eternally be called into question no matter where he's playing.
Right.
But the dude still has a ton of quality. Yeah.
He's a quality player.
There's a reason his card costs what it does. I mean, he has a ton of quality when he wants to. He's like he and Elias, man. They still have a ton of quality when they want to show it.
Yeah. It's just a matter of showing it, doing it.
Yeah, and great spirit. That's a good way to put it. Great spirit to get back in the game. After the second goal, after we went down 2-1, I was really doubting if that spirit would come back. And to their credit, they did what they had to do, and they ground out a result.
Yeah, I remember that night after that second goal, my spirit was just broken. I was like, like this is it. Like we fought so hard during the first half. We're just gonna give it up. And I was already typing up like my final thoughts for Twitter. Like we couldn't pull it off. And then all of a sudden you just see goal and Campbell's like running around.
Yeah, I mean, kind of came out of nowhere too.
Yeah,
like you didn't know how much energy they had left to keep pushing the ball down into the attacking zone. But all they needed was one, and they got it. And then even after that, they had they had a free kick from a really dangerous spot, and I was like, hey, there's still a chance here they could get the full 3 points here, and they ultimately didn't. But credit to them for fighting all the way down the stretch and getting the result out of it that they did.
Yeah, man.
So shall we move into Tuesday? Shall we talk some CCL?
Let's talk CCL. What a game!
Yeah,
5-0.
Yeah. Well, and like. What my favorite part about it was that they really piled on at the end. They could have settled easily for the 2-0. Once they got it to 2-0, they're like, okay, this is probably enough. Especially if we keep the goose egg, if we keep them from getting an away goal. We got the we got that scare in the first half. It was clearly offside on replay, obviously, but we got that scare when we thought they'd scored, and and then all of a sudden, last 10 minutes of the game, we're just piling on 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 in the span of what, like 10 minutes, something like that, 10 minutes plus stoppage time.
Yeah.
Like, to their credit, like, so just to give a little background on Violette, for those who don't know, they're not playing a league season. Like, they had not played a competitive match of any kind since their elimination of Austin in the previous round in the quarterfinal, in the round of 16 of this tournament. So they're, they, to their credit, they are not skilled on the ball. A team like this is very unlikely to be skilled on the ball, but they made us work for it for about 80 minutes. Like, they really made us work for it. They're fast, they're strong, they're tall, they're dangerous in the aerial game. Like, they're not going to let you sneak in a corner or anything like that. They get up for those headers. They're fast. I mean, they got pace, they have strength, they have everything about quality touch on the ball, all except for one or two guys on their side who showed themselves to be a little bit more capable in that department. But by and large, they're not going to possess the ball. Their only chances on a counter, maybe on a set piece, something like that. But they made us work for it for about 80 minutes. And then, this is where being match fit and having more quality across the board should come into play. That's exactly when it should come into play. And that's exactly what happened. Like, after going up 2-0 in whatever, the 60-something minute, Davila's first of his brace.
Yep.
Went up 2-0, and they could have been like, let's just start taking some guys off. Let's sit back. I'm sure this result will be enough to get us through. And they didn't do that. Like, under Holland, they would have done that. Under Paiva, they would have done. Well, Paiva, we don't know. Paiva never had a chance in CCL.
Yeah.
With Ambriz, they would have done that. With Ambriz or with Holland, they would have done that. But Larcamon's like, no, man. I ain't taking anybody off. I'm bringing some guys on who I think are going to help us draw this lead out. And boy, howdy, is that what happened? They just kept piling on till the end. They did not let up. It's clear to us in this competition, you take nothing for granted. That's why, like, on the chat, you asked me, is it still going to be worth it to go see leg 2 of the Dominican Republic? And I'm like, yeah, absolutely, man. I do not take anything for granted in this tournament. Clearly, the team doesn't either. That's why they having the opportunity to pile on at the end of that first 90. They absolutely did with it. That's what a team that looks like they have a chance to win this tournament does. Mm-hmm. That is exactly what a team that's like when we
serious.
A team that's serious about winning this tournament. Like, I remember, against not so much against Tauro, but I remember against Guasatoya last season. We're like, yeah, they won comfortably, but they didn't pile on. And they had every opportunity to pile on.
Yes.
And a team that looks like they're serious about winning this cup would have piled on. Well, okay. This time we pile on. And, I expect them to take leg 2 serious. I expect them going to Dominican Republic looking to win leg 2, even though they obviously don't have to win leg 2 to advance. But it's a mentality thing. It's an optics thing. Like, teams that look like they are in a position to win this kind of tournament play a certain way. They look a certain way. And León, the full 90 minutes that they gave against Violette this leg 1, they look like a team that can win this tournament.
Well, at least up until that scare, up until that when they scored on us, which was ultimately called offside. But I think that was the turning point of this match.
Yeah.
Where Larcamón said, let's not take our foot off the gas, guys. Let's get as many as we can.
And to their credit, they did it. They played all the. They had many teams, even good teams, even teams that have probably won this tournament before, in legs against an inferior opponent will probably take off the gas a little. Look, we got another league match on Sunday. We're still very much alive in the league season 2. Let's just scale this back a little bit. We don't need to pile on, but. And I remember Kadi especially talking about, like, getting so frustrated when they have the opportunity to pile on. I don't know if you're listening, Kadi. Kadi's probably not listening. She's got other things going on. She'll be back next. She'll be back next week on next week's program. But Kadi, if you listen back to this, I know you were smiling somewhere when they kept piling on, because you have been on them to pile on against inferior opponents in CCL when they've had the chance to do so. And they absolutely did that this time. So credit to them. I feel like this tie is all but wrapped up. I do not see Violette scoring 5 goals without conceding. Even if
if we
even
score
if it's
one, I think they have to score what, 7?
If we score 1, they have to score 7. Yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, there have been some miracles. If it were, if this were the UEFA Champions League and we're like Barcelona, Liverpool, or something like that, and Barcelona were trailing 5-0, I wouldn't, and they were going home, I wouldn't count them out. But this is not that situation. This is Violette that's not even going to be playing in their home stadium. So
I mean, we've seen stranger things happen, but
we have seen stranger. Have we though? I mean, we have seen some strange things happen, but I think Violette turning around this tie would be that might be the strangest thing that's ever happened in the sport.
Well, I mean, so far in this competition, I think the strangest thing that's happened is Atlas making that comeback, that historic comeback.
They didn't have to make a 5-goal comeback though.
Yeah.
And they also came in. They had scored an away goal in the first leg, which made all the difference. Which made all the difference in the world. Yeah, this would be far stranger than that. That was pretty strange, but this would be far, far, far stranger than that. So I don't know. I think I gotta to wrap up this segment about the Violette match. I have a hot take, Carlos. I have a hot take. Yeah, can you cue up the clip? Yeah,
okay. Let's do it. Hot take.
Okay, so I'd been kind of wishy-washy about making this hot take for the past bit here, because I really thought that León and I still think that León has the ability to win both tournaments. However, my hot take is I absolutely think the top priority, way more than the league, needs to be the Conca Champions this season. I think León needs to prioritize one over the other, and I think they need to prioritize the Conca Champions over the league for a couple of reasons. One, unlike most years, the Conca Champions is going to finish after the league season this time. So the league season will end in mid-May, and then mid to late May. But then the two of the Conca Champions is until the first week of June. I don't remember the last if that's ever happened. Usually it finishes well before the league season. So this isn't a situation where you are playing the Conca Champions season and you know that no matter how far you go, you're still going to have to finish out your league season and your Liga when you're finished with the Conca Champions. This is not that case. Mm-hmm. In this case, no matter what happens in your Liga season, you're still going to have to, I mean, if you advance far enough, you're going to have to play your Conca Champions after the league season has started. And so I think you have to take that into consideration too. Like, I don't know about you, man, but I can smell it this time. I feel like
just looking.
I feel like if you can get past Tigres, who are not. Yes, they got a 1-0 away win against Motagua. They did not play particularly well against Motagua, but they got the job done in Honduras. They're probably moving on to the semifinal. They won't have it as easy a time of it as we will, and some crazy things could happen in El Volcán next week. But for León, man, you can smell it this time. The past 3 editions we've been like, I don't know, we just can't seem to figure it out. And this time they're just taking it to this tournament. They're the only team that has not dropped a point in the CCL so far. They've played 3 matches. They've won all 3, which guarantees them, by the way, they will host the second leg of the semifinal, no matter who it's against. Because it is determined by your results in the preceding 2 rounds. León has won all 3 of their first matches. There's no way Tigres or Motagua can have a better performance than León has had. So León will host the second leg. They will finish out the semifinal on home turf. And man, if they can just get past Tigres, I don't care who would be in that final. Like I like. Well, just think about it, man. Either it could be LAFC or Atlas. The only one we don't have history with is Philly. But imagine if it's LAFC or Atlas, man. Like that. First of all, how much fun would that series be? No matter either one.
both of those teams.
Either one. We have fairly recent history with both of them. Unfinished business with both of them. There's so much to play for in this tournament, and our path to winning at this point is just so. It's never going to be clearer. It will never be clearer than it is right now. And our position, our spot in this tournament is not guaranteed beyond this edition, because the whole format for qualification is going to be different with the Leagues Cup starting up in earnest this coming summer. So if we don't have a good performance in Leagues Cup, we might not even be in it next year. Yeah. So you have such a golden opportunity here to take this, to finally. It would be way more of a monkey off our back to win the CCL than it would be to win La Novena. Also, like, you get a shot at La Novena every 6 months. You get a shot at a league title every 6 months, no matter what. You're going to have a shot at the league title. Also, new league season, new coach. I don't think nobody's going to be too upset if the new Larcamón don't get the Novena in their very first season. They're going to have another shot at it next season, and the season after that, and the one after that. Like, they're going to, like, I think this proyecto with Larcamón va pa largo. I mean, unless he gets called up by some big-time European club, he gets some big-time opportunity somewhere else. I mean, I think we're going to get at least 2 or 3 more seasons where the León de Larcamón. I think León de Larcamón, they're going to have several shots at the league title. I don't think we need to be too worried about that. But this CCL title, you can't take for granted this opportunity that we have. I don't know when they're going to get another shot at it. Like, even if we lose out on the league season, like, okay, so the league final is going to be over. If we're in the CCL final, that's still something to play for after the league season's over. Like, there's still going to be excitement after that. It's not like, we could win the CCL and then, there's still more league season to play. We fizzle out and we finish the semestre kind of on a low note. No, that's not going to happen this time. Like, there's just all the pieces are falling into place where, like, Leon's got to play for the CCL, man. They got to get the CCL. They have to get it. They don't have to get the league season. As much as I would love it, and I think they have the horses. They could get both. They could get the double. It would be a historic doblete, like a historic double.
Who's done that before? Was it Chivas? The last one?
Chivas. Chivas did it. Chivas did it in.
Wasn't it like 18 or something?
Chivas got the Clausura 2017 and then the 2018 CCL.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't exactly the same. It wasn't the same half season. It wasn't the same semester.
Right.
I don't know who's done it in the same 6 month span. That'll be something to.
I thought it was Rayados. I can't remember.
Maybe it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, there's just such a golden opportunity here. We gotta get this. The reason we're not in the conversation for on the same level as the grandes, like the grandes mediáticos Liga MX, is because we cannot get this monkey off our back about getting a major international tournament. Yes, we got our Leagues Cup and that felt great, but that was not a major tournament. This is a major tournament.
This is a big deal.
Yeah, we got to get that. And I was also reading, getting the CCL qualifies the winner for the next 2 Club World Cups, not just one. Yeah.
Really?
It qualifies them for the upcoming 2023 edition in Saudi Arabia.
Wait, are they expanding the Club World Cup? Or
they are in 2025. They are expanding the Club World Cup. So anyone who qualifies for the 2023 Club World Cup is getting an automatic bid to the expanded 2025 World Cup, is what I read.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the 2023 Club World Cup in Saudi Arabia. I don't. Politically, I don't know if that's going to be possible for me to get there, but we'll see. Yeah,
that's even more of a reason to make this tournament a priority. And you have someone who agrees with you on the chat.
Yeah, I mean, I was iffy about it, but then I saw this 5-0 drubbing of Violette, and I'm like, obviously, Violette's probably the weakest opposition left in the tournament, but still, man, we went out there after that emotional. You have to take into consideration how emotional that game on Saturday was too, and all the aftermath that came after it. So for them to come out 3 days later, and it took them a little while to get the blowout fully on, but they eventually did. And credit to them after that. Such that emotional toll that Saturday match must have taken on them to come out on Tuesday and get the job done the way they did. I mean, nobody expected a 5-0. I think most people would have thought like like a 3-0 or something. Like getting a 3-0 would have been perfect for the home leg, and they went well beyond that. So, and after that, the drama of the weekend, to come out and do that, I was like, okay, this team in CCL means business. They mean business in a way they've never meant business before, and we have to ride that. We have to ride that wave as long as we can.
Yeah, I think this last match, this 5-0, was probably the most complete match we've seen from this team in CCL.
Oh,
We've never had this type of result. We've never had that much commitment to actually winning and beating a team like we did. Now, assuming we go through to the next round, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna go through the next round unless something very strange happens. Who do you want, Tigres or Motagua?
Man, it's a tough one. My head says Motagua. Obviously, they're a talent wise, they're an inferior opponent. But man, I don't necessarily love the idea of going into that stadium in Honduras and trying to get a result.
Really?
So many teams have failed.
Even worse to us.
I don't know, man. I don't know. We've gotten some good results in the Volcan. At least there we know what we're getting into. I see what you mean. What's that phrase? The devil you know. Like the devil you know. Tigres are the devil we know. We faced off against them so many times. Also, we're going to be facing off against them. We could potentially be facing off against them 3 times in a week. If we don't know them really well already, we're going to get to know them super well. There's a lot of tape on Tigres. A lot of these guys have played many times against Tigres before. Like with Tigres, you know what you're getting, and also Tigres, like this is not the Tigres of old. They haven't been going out there and mopping the floor with anybody this season. They had a strong start, and then Coca left, and then after that, it's been very mediocre performances from them all around. And especially they have not been a stalwart at home. They've dropped a lot of points at home this season. And like it's the same, like even like in World Cup qualifiers, like going into Honduras and playing like those Honduras teams, whether it's the national team or whether it's a club, like in that stadium in San Pedro Sula, they give it their all. Like they make it tough on you, and their fans come out. I don't know if you watched last night's game. There was a big crowd there. It was a big crowd there.
Yeah, I watched it.
And there'd be an even bigger crowd for a semifinal.
I think I'd agree with you on this one.
Yeah, I'd be afraid. I'd be afraid of that first. It's because of that first leg. I'd be afraid of that first leg. I'd be afraid about going out there and struggling to get a good result in that first leg. And maybe perhaps like not getting an away goal or something like that, and then coming back home vulnerable. I'd be a little bit concerned about that. And with Tigres, with Tigres, you at least know what you're getting. We know that team inside and out. We've squared off against them so many times. I also would relish the opportunity to eliminate them from this competition.
And our coach knows them in and out. He's played them. He's beat them. So I mean, just look at what he did just tactically against América this past weekend. Just imagine that same tactics and the same strategy against Tigres and being able to beat them at El Volcán.
Yeah, I mean, now if it is Motagua, like that would be fine. We would come in as favorites, as big favorites in that tie,
right?
They're going to have to pull off it wouldn't even be that much of a miracle. I mean, they scored the first goal in the Volcán, and it's a series again.
Yep.
So, they're still very much alive in that tie. They've shown themselves to be a team with a lot of fight. Look what they did to Pachuca, and. And they were trailing in that game too. Like but I mean, Pachuca's been a mess lately, but they're on paper a much better team than Motagua is. So is Tigres. Like anything can happen. Anything can happen in that tie still. Short answer. I'd be happy with either one. Long answer. My heart's just saying Tigres, man. My heart's just saying. We're going to give a better effort against Tigres, and that's going to be, that's going to set us up better for a final against either most likely LAFC or Atlas. I still think Atlas lost in their first leg tie against Philadelphia on a last-minute penalty, but I think they're going to win the return leg at home, and I think it's going to be
think
LAFC.
so?
I do think so.
Oh, okay.
I think it's going to be
So
yeah.
Atlas
I think it's.
LAFC.
I think it'll be an Atlas LAFC semifinal. I think that'll be a great semifinal. As would León Tigres, or Motagua, but especially Tigres.
Yeah, man, it's coming down to the wire.
Yeah.
But like you said, you can smell it. You can smell it this time around.
You can smell it this time. It just feels different. We got a little bit lucky. I mean, who knows how this tie would have been if it were against Austin, especially playing the second leg in Austin. But yeah, man, you can only play the team that's in front of you, and León has just been taking care of business in this tournament. They are waltzing to the semifinal, and they got to take advantage of this opportunity that they have, even if it comes at the expense of the league season, which hopefully it won't, but it could.
Woo, that's a lot of CCL talk.
Yeah.
Next week, we're actually going to recap the second leg, right? Next week, we'll recap the second leg, and we'll also talk about the Cruz Azul result next week. But right now, I think we should talk about the upcoming match against Cruz Azul. Let's just preview it real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What are we thinking for that match? Obviously, we're not going to have Larcamón, or we're not going to have Romero. What are we going to do this time around as far as the lineup?
Yeah, I mean that Romero loss is. He's just been such a staple, what's the word I'm looking for? Such a source of stability in that midfield, that revitalized, revamped, dominating midfield that we've put together this season. And I'm not going to lie, that's a big loss. I mean, he might be the one guy, either him or Adonis Frias, like the one guy you really want to see in your lineup playing 90 minutes every time out, Right. And so it will be a big loss, and especially with Jairo out for a few more weeks at least.
Any word on Jairo when he's coming back?
I was told like 4 to 5 weeks maybe from the time of the injury. So I'm not expecting really for him to be a major factor, at least in what remains of the regular season. Maybe he'll come back in Liga or in the last stages of the CCL knockout. But without him, he's really been the only other guy who's played alongside Fidel since Jefecito's injury. I don't know what Jefecito's status is either. I'm not really counting on him either.
I think he's out for the season.
Yeah. So we can't count on him. I don't know. They're going to have to get creative. It's obviously going to be Fidel, but who with Fidel? We'll see. They're going to have to get creative there.
Yeah, I mean, who else has played there? Campbell's played that midfield position.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you throw a juvenil in there, right?
Maybe
you could give someone a chance. Maybe with
maybe. Yeah, I really don't know what they're going to do. It's tough. It's going to be tough sledding for these next 2 league matches, and unfortunately, like, these are matches you really want to win at home. Both of these next 2 league matches at home, you really want to get these. And without Perro, it makes it that much harder. They'll probably stick with the línea de cinco. They'll probably go a little bit more defensive there in the back without having Perro in there, which is not what you want to have to see, but it's probably going to be the case, unfortunately. So this Cruz Azul match, man, what do you think? Like, Cruz Azul's had an up and down season. They got a big win against Pachuca, away to Pachuca. But before that, they gave up a draw to Querétaro. I
don't think they're that much of a threat, to be honest. I don't think they're the powerhouse that everybody makes. I mean, obviously
they're certainly not a powerhouse, but you could argue that they've been playing a little bit better lately. No, they're not in the conversation for like candidato al título this season for sure. Absolutely not. But they've been playing a little bit better as of late. Got a big result away to Pachuca. I mean, they're going to be coming in looking for the win, obviously. And they've played us well over the past few seasons. Like, León they never have an easy time with Cruz Azul, no matter how poorly Cruz Azul is playing, or no matter whatever demons Cruz Azul has to overcome at the ends of matches, whatever. It's never an easy time for León against Cruz Azul, I feel. So it's not going to be an easy match. But boy, these would be 3 big points. You get 3 points. You get these points. You get these 3 points Well, how about say these next 6 points at home? You get these next 6 points at home against Cruz Azul and Chivas. You're sitting real pretty for a top 4 finish.
Man, that schedule.
Especially because those two teams are like those that are kind of nipping at the heels of the teams in the upper tier. Like those teams are really going to want. Those two teams really probably need 3 points out of this match if they want to have any hope of finishing in the top 4. Obviously, Cruz Azul hasn't really sniffed the top 4 this season, but Chivas has. They were in the top 4 for the first 7 or 8 weeks, and but both of these teams really need to get 3 points out of these matches. So we gotta take care of the home pitch, man. I know I said Liga should not be our priority at this point, having a chance to finish CCL, and CCL is going to go on past the league season. But I mean, you got to take care of your home floor against these clubs that that are. I mean, it's always we got América, Cruz Azul, and Chivas in three straight league matches. That's a big time challenge.
That's a huge challenge, especially if you want to remain in the top 4.
Yeah.
But would you say, since you said earlier, prioritize CCL over league, would you say maybe if we drop out of those top 4 and make 5 through 6, 7, would that be a successful season?
If we win CCL and finish in the top and get a home repechaje match, that's a success. That's absolutely a successful season.
Because top 4 is like exceeding expectations. Like I don't think anybody predicted that.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I mean, I definitely saw the potential in getting that, but not a lot of the pundits were predicting it. That's for sure.
Yeah. So 5 through 8, again, if we're prioritizing CCL, 5 through 8 would be a successful season. Good.
It would be, but I mean, there's no reason we cannot get a top 4 seed at this point.
Yeah, but it's going to be tough. Those are huge obstacles. There's way more obstacles in league than there are in CCL, in my opinion, to get to where we want to be.
Getting 3 points against Cruz Azul this weekend would go a long way, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. That game is this Saturday. You're going to be there, right?
I'll be there. Javier will be there as well.
Cool, cool. Nice. Cool. This Saturday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. your time, right?
7 p.m.
7 p.m. Okay.
Wait, no. No, it is. Wait a minute. Yes, it is. It is 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Okay. It was gonna be at 5 p.m. and then they moved it back 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah. So 7 on prime time.
7 p.m. Mexico time.
For sure.
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern.
I'm thinking, how can we make a prediction for this match, given the absences that we have?
Yeah.
And the lineups that we're gonna have to. Who starts? Mena's starting, right? You're gonna have to start Mena against his old team. He always plays with the chip on his shoulder when he plays.
I don't think Mena will start given the minutes that he played against Violette.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So Elias?
I think Elias came on as a late sub, so I think Elias will start. It's his former team too, lest we forget.
Yep. Yeah. That's correct. Diorio
will start. He came on as a sub. Davila, I don't know, man. Davila went hard against Violette on Tuesday. I don't know.
Yeah, but he came out, I think, in the 80th, something like that.
Still, he played 80 minutes. We'll see.
Yeah. And he's young. I mean, he's got fresh legs. He's still a kid. He's like 25, 26.
Yeah.
Campbell, maybe?
Could be.
Campbell, Platano Alvarado, who's been actually playing really, really good this season.
Yeah. Platano did not start against Violette, did he? I believe he did not.
He didn't. He came in as a sub.
Yeah.
And then obviously the back line that we're most commonly used to seeing. You said it was a back line of 3, so we're gonna have what? Barre.
No, I said I predicted a back line of 5.
Oh, 5, sorry. Not back line of 3. 3 center backs.
Ivan looked gassed by the time they took him out of that Violette match. The kid's been playing a ton of minutes lately.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been going hard. I don't really think you can afford to sit him. But I mean, I imagine he will start. But man, kid's been playing a ton of minutes. He's been going hard. But yeah, so I expect from right to left, Ivan, Barreiro, Adonis, Belon, and Osvi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have enough to win.
Yeah.
It's just that hurt. It hurts to see Pedro Romero out. But hey, listen, he's the only natural number 5 we have, and he's been playing all season. So I guess 2 games of rest is only helping us. I mean, and we get to use him in CCL.
Yeah, I mean, it's
That
not
means he
really
gets to start every CCL game.
Yeah, it's not even really any time off because he's going to be playing. He's been going to be going and playing 90 in every CCL match for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise.
If we get the points, it sure will look like that. Yeah.
Let's move into prediction time.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Everyone in the chat, Logan, Carlos Hermeño, saludos Arturo Ruiz. Thank you for checking in today. Everybody drop your predictions for this weekend, León versus Cruz Azul. We are going to prediction time. Where is the... Here it is.
Prediction time!
All right. Louis, go ahead. Give us your prediction for this weekend's match.
Yeah, I think this might be an ugly one. Just the way the game plays out. It might be kind of like an ugly kind of grinded out, low scoring, survive in advance kind of an affair. And I think we're going to get a 1-0. León 1-0.
Really? 1-0?
Yeah, 1-0. That we will feel lucky to have gotten.
Wow.
I think Cruz Azul is going to get some shots on goal in this game.
So is it a sloppy, boring match? Why such a low scoring match?
No, that's sloppy, not necessarily boring, but sloppy. Okay. Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to go with a 2-1. I'm going to keep it safe. I think they might sneak one in, but again, we have, I don't know if we're still the best defense or not.
We probably are not.
We're up there.
We're up. We're in the top 3 or 4 still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll come out. You know what? I think we'll come out with another clean sheet. I'm going to go 2-0 León. Clean sheet.
Okay. All right.
And the Yo-Yo who just shook off that awful drought is going to score. So he'll have one, and we'll give another one to Mena against his former team.
Okay. Coming on as a sub, more than likely.
Yeah. He'll close it out.
Okay. Maybe a PK. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Logan saying 1-0 León. Cermeño saying 2-1 León. And those are the predictions for today. Anything else before we wrap up?
No, man. I think we hit it. I for those who are curious, I hinted at it before, but I will be making the trip to Dominican Republic for leg 2 against Violette next week. Super excited about it. I'll try to make as much of the trip available on social media as possible, so you can see how things are going. Every time I go somewhere new, like I said it in Guatemala, I said it in Panama, like I can't believe I'm here watching León in such an exotic place, and I expect this experience to blow both of those previous 2 out of the water in terms of strange and fascinating circumstances. So yeah, I'm gonna try to keep things keep you all apprised of the situation out there, and hopefully León gets the job done. I don't know if I'll be available next week to do a podcast. That will be we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, we'll try to coordinate something.
But yeah, so that's the plan. Going to be a pretty chill trip. I'm not going to be too worried about the result. I'm just going to enjoy the trip, and hopefully they don't give me a reason to be scared at all.
Nah, man.
Yeah,
everything's good out there. I actually just saw Los de Arriba post a post from out there, so I think there's going to be a couple fans out there from
yeah. I never expect to be the only one. I know some loyal followers. There were a couple hundred of us in Panama, so I expect at least 20 or so, 15, 20 in Santiago.
Yeah.
Dominican Republic.
Do we get to see the victory dance?
Yeah, we will. Closing out a tie. Yes, I didn't do it in Panama because that was only the first leg of a 2-leg set.
Right.
I don't generally do it at the home matches anyway, so obviously I didn't do it on Tuesday night. But yeah, if I can get somebody to film it, yeah, there could be a victory dance from the Dominican Republic.
Awesome. Cool. Logan, shouting you out saying have fun, Louis. All right, let's get out of here.
All right, man.
We got a lot to talk about today. We went over everything. I know Arturo Ruiz showed up a little late. You might want to go back and listen to some of the stuff we had to say about all the drama that happened this past weekend. Thank you for everyone who joined us in the chat. It's been awesome being here with you guys. As always, talking about León in English. Make sure to follow Louis as he's heading out on his trip to the Dominican Republic. Make sure to follow all of us on Twitter as we update you with the latest on León in English. And have a good rest of your day, everyone. We are out of here.